Oh, hi. My name is Dennis, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Um, Today, I wanted to talk about sights, iron sights on pistols. Then I got to thinking about it. Some people might need to understand about how to actually aim uh, your pistol. Uh, Now, I'm retired military and have been in several combat activities, I'll say. Anyway, and I have fired my 1911 many times to kill the enemy. Um, Sometimes I'm really stupid when I was doing it, and then I learned. What I didn't learn is when I went to the range and what I was really supposed to learn. I didn't really learn very well until I got into the actual environment of combat, and then then I learned. For instance, one time my weapon, my rifle, jammed up, and I was in close quarters, and I mean like 25, 30 meters from the enemy, and they had their weapons shooting, and mine was not working, so I had to pull the 1911. And using it, of course, I only have like 9 rounds in it, but still, 145 will definitely do the work you need. Thing is, you got to hit the target. And I found myself doing some bad habits that I know that I learned from, and I adjusted. And thank God I didn't get killed because other things. But anyway, for instance, let me explain certain things about a pistol. This is a 1911. This is a short barrel, but they're the same thing. Okay. What I want to talk about is how you hold your weapon, and and most people know just grab it. It just fits in your hand right. Well, what they don't understand that when you're aiming this and you're going to shoot somebody, some people they get their hand and see how I got a crook, and they go bang, 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 like that, and that's not going to control. You need to actually stick it out there, get it out there. All right. The other thing that I learned in there was I would, when I'm firing it, I get, and I'd be squeezing if it was a banana, it'd been all over me. You know what I mean? You want to hold it tightly, that's true, so it doesn't flip out of your hand, but yet you don't want to try to squeeze it like the Hulk and try to mash it. Because when you do, it creates a strain on your trigger finger. Okay, because some people, when they do it, they'll put their finger all the way through. See how my finger's all the way, and they're like this, and they're trying to shoot it, bang, 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 like that. Well, that's not quite the good way to do it. So let's talk about some other things. Is aiming. That doesn't work. Okay, you know what I mean? Some people will do it because you're scared of the weapon. You think it's going to blow up in your face or whatever, and it's not. It's just. So let's talk about some things. First thing, let's talk about sight picture. When you talk about sight picture and you have your assailant or whoever it is you're going to, or whatever you're going to be shooting, and the center of mass is what you're looking. Don't try to shoot me in the eyeball. Don't try to shoot my earlobe off. Don't try to shoot me in the middle of my head. You want to shoot me right there. And when you do with a 45, you got it pointed at me, and you pull that trigger, and that 45 caliber comes out of that pistol and hits me in the chest. I'm going that away. Okay, my body is going to go that away, and it's going to go that away very violently. Okay, so don't worry about that part. What you need to worry about is don't get scared of this. Don't be intimidated by the assailant either. You say women 9 times out of 10, if women sees the person's face, they never shoot. You need to get over that if that's true. The other thing is you need to go to the range a lot. You really do. You need to get a box of rounds, 50 rounds, go to the range and shoot the crap out of your pistol. You really, really do. Until you get about 2 or 3 boxes out, done that through your weapon, and you're used to that, you're in the mode of, okay, understanding. And getting a good sight picture is important because when you're aiming, you can see the dots. When you're aiming, you want to aim that pistol directly at the center of mass. Directly at the center of mass. That's where you want to try to shoot your target. So when you go to the range and you're shooting, you want to concentrate your front sight. And when they talk about sight picture, your sight picture is your center, your target, the center of mass of your target, with this front sight clearly pasted on it. In other words, your focus is on this front sight, not this back one, not your target. That's where your focus is. Your eye will, when you're looking down there, your eye will automatically try to shift to the target and try to shift here, but concentrate when you go to the range and work on that so that you're using that front sight. Because trust me, where that front sight is, that's where your bullet's going to go. So you put your little front sight on that and concentrate on that and enjoy it. Enjoy the shooting of it. And go out there and shoot. The things you want to concentrate too also on the same thing is just why are all my rounds going over here? I shoot dead center mass and they're all over here. It could be that your weapon is off, not aligned. That's true. You can get somebody else to shoot your weapon and see where they go. And if they're shooting center mass when they're shooting your weapon, then you kind of go, something else ain't right. It could be that you have overextended your finger into the trigger well, or maybe not enough. It could be that you're gripping your pistol like a death grip, which can affect your thing. Some of this stuff is called like healing. We call it healing, Heeling, healing. Okay, and what that actually means is your when's it going to go? When's it going to pop? And anticipating the round going off. Okay, you get over that. Okay, and so when you're looking, you're going, bam, and you get relieved. Well, you do that. Some people, when they do that too, by the way, on the opposite side of the scenario, they'll push. What I mean? They'll bang, bang. They'll push. Not consciously, but it happens. So so sometimes when you're doing that, keep your sight picture on that target, and then don't anticipate it. Each time you squeeze the trigger and it goes off, it should be a surprise to you. If it is, then you're doing it right. You're pulling correctly. Relax. Hang on to the weapon properly. It will stay in your hand if you just use a nice grip on it and pull. Now, you have a dominant and a non-dominant eye, but a dominant eye, okay? One of your eyes, left or right, I don't know what you are, left or right, handed, but one of your eyes is the dominant eye. And that's the one you'll be using when you looking at that front sight. Now I happen to be right eye dominant, and so that means I'm right-handed too, and I'm right dominant. It's not always that way. Most of the time it's true. There are left-handed people who are right eye dominant, but let's move on. So with your non-dominant hand, that's going to be the supporting one. Now some people say, well, wrap the other hand around it and get this Vulcan type grip on your other hand. Okay, I got this Vulcan type grip on it so it holds it in there. Get comfortable. Don't go crazy. Don't try to do the Vulcan mind grip on your hand or whatever. Just, get it supported so that your dominant hand is not supporting all the weight, that your non-dominant is supporting the weight up and down. Your dominant hand is the one doing the firing, gripping the weapon properly and pulling the trigger. That's its concentration. Okay, your non-dominant hand is keeping the weapon up on the target. It kind of, okay, right there. Bam. You know what I mean? Okay, Now, let's talk about the sight. Some people don't buy any new sights for their weapons. They use the ones they got, which are nice. But there are all these sights on your weapons have one thing in common. They're parallel. The top of the sights are parallel to the top of your slide. And the reason being is when you may not know this, but and it's not always true, but it should be. That's when a weapon is in combat mode, which means ready to boom, blow away the world. But anyway, when it's in combat mode, okay, such as this one is, this barrel is lined up with this slide, which means this sight should be lined up with this slide, which then means it's lined up with this barrel. They're all lined up. And if you put a flat device on it, like that, and look at it, you can say, oh, it is. Well, how about that? Distance between this here and this in between the slides are the same. So that means this side, tops of this side and this side are making a line that is parallel to this slide, which is then parallel to the barrel, which means this thing shoots the same target. That's how it works. Simple as that. Now, some of you may go out and buy fancy sights. You might buy some True Glows. You know, they look pretty, they glow, but not at night. Or you might go buy some tritium sights, like from Trigicon or somebody. They're expensive, $100 and something bucks or so, and they glow at night, and they got really bright. And it doesn't matter what kind of sights you buy or what you're going to do, as long as when they're done working on them or when you check them, put something flat on them. Look at it and say, is the distance between the bottom of this little piece of wood and my slide equal to here? And it is. Well, if it is, then you're good to go, because when this weapon is in battery, this barrel, even though it's recessed inside like this one, and it's not flush like that one. See how that one's flush? And this one is kind of recessed inside there a little bit. Up here in this area here, where the barrel is, it's still parallel with this slide, and these sights are parallel with these slides, which means it's parallel with the barrel. So it's right on the money where it's supposed to be. So that when I get a good sight picture, I can see. Now, I'm not going to go out there and go bing, 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 bing. Because if I try to shoot with my elbows bent like this, that gun's going to go right in my forehead. And it's going to leave little marks on your forehead. You can watch YouTube channels of that. You know, women hitting themselves with their weapon going, and their arms are bent and they go bam, and hits them. Some of them have been stiff-armed. They look like they're stiff-armed, but when they fire it, it breaks the elbow and brings it up. You're offhand, pulling it down, holding it together, and it should be this type of rock. You know what I mean? Like if you're shooting a big, 50 caliber or something. Anyway, so there you go. That's about, there's more to learn, but you can only learn it the hard way. And that's going to the range and shooting the crap out of your weapon. Remember, I love shooting the crap out of my weapons, but you got to learn to like it. If you don't like it, then just use them for night, for safety. But you still need to go to the range and learn how to use it so that you can use it safely and for protection in your home. All right, let me see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Nope, that's about all I had for you. Upcoming videos, still working on the 1911 short barrel. I'm using, what I mean by that is got a standard size frame with a 3-inch barrel, okay? And the reason I'm building this 1911 like this is the the reverse plug in it is designed in such a way that you relieve the barrel tension off the spring, turn the reverse plug a certain way and a certain thing, and the whole weapon just comes apart in your hands, just like that. And very safe from name. But right now, electricity should be brought back into my into the workbench area, into the shed and workshop rather. When we're finished with that and got all the electricity running and it's all cleaned up and all the stuff is all mounted, I'll go back to work and finish this thing up and show it to y'all. So you can look forward to some videos on that. My next video I'm going to be doing is I'm going to talk about rifles and the type of scopes and how the 30 millimeter and the 1 inch and also the mounting type of rings that you use and posts that you use for mounting to the rifle, and why that's so critical to a person who's hunting, and how it has to be done properly. Okay, you have a super fine day, and as always, comments down below. Push the like button if you wouldn't mind, and it's been really nice. Have a nice day. Keep your powder dry.